Greetings, one and all. Welcome back to NHL 18 franchise mode with your Quebec Nordiques. Yes, we are back here again to do the 2018 off-season, which includes the 2018 NHL Entry Draft and the 2018 Free Agency. Now, last episode, in our first season back in the NHL with the Quebec Nordiques, we made it to the playoffs. And we didn't just make it to the playoffs, we made it to the Western Conference Finals in our first year back in the National Hockey League. We had a 6-game series victory against the LA Kings, a 5-game series victory against the Anaheim Ducks, and then we lost in 5 games to the eventual Stanley Cup champion St. Louis Blues. Yes, the St. Louis Blues, 3 out of their 4 series were 7-game series, except for ours. Wow, that's a bit of a slap in the face then. And at the end of our season, Kevin Shattenkirk was the highest point getter with 62 points. We also made a trade towards the end of the season for Max Domi and restricted free agent Ryan Spooner, as well as Adam McQuaid, I believe. Yes, there he is. 7 points in 77 games. Perfect. So, we have the entry draft to take place today, and we have the free agency. So, in terms of free agency, if Max Domi is a restricted free agent, he is definitely getting a contract. 17 points in 16 playoff games. He showed for us that once he came over, he got some points in the regular season. I think he almost went a point per game in the regular season. And then he went over a point per game in the playoffs for us. So what he's shown us is, he is clutch in the playoffs and when it matters. So he's definitely getting a contract. In terms of the rest of them, I don't know. We'll have to have a look at the team and see if there's anybody in free agency to help boost this team up. And maybe win a Stanley Cup in our second year. Who would think that? Maybe. Maybe we could repeat the New York Rangers. But anyway, now we have the NHL entry draft to take place. So, the first pick goes to the Vancouver Canucks. The other expansion team, Vegas Golden Knights, get the second pick. Our pick is over in 29th, which makes absolute sense considering we made it to the conference finals. So, sim to use a pick. I'm not interested in making a huge amount of trades. So, the Colorado Avalanche want to send us their first round pick from next year in exchange for Mathias Ekholm and Adam McQuaid. No thank you. Our defensive core is solid. The Florida Panthers would like to send their first round pick for Mathias Ekholm. No thank you. If we get a solid offer, maybe. First round and second round from next year for Ekholm, McQuaid and Greiber. No thank you, I'm right. Second round pick this year and a second rounder for Ekholm. No thank you. Ekholm's been a solid player on our team. So let's take a look at the top draft picks of this draft. First was Rasmus Dahlin. I expected nothing different. Veleno, medium elite at 73 overall. Or Dahlin, 78 overall, medium elite. Zadina, 71 overall, medium elite. McDonald, 60 overall, medium top 6 forward. Another McDonald in the Philadelphia Flyers franchise. Brilliant. McSiak, I don't know how to say that name. 60 overall, top 4 defenseman. Goaltender, medium elite, 64 overall. And I believe that to round out the top 10, we have Malkin, a defenseman for the New York Rangers, 62 overall, top 6 defenseman. Any more elite players that went in the first round of the draft? Doesn't look like it. We've already got some bottom 6 forwards going in the draft in the first round. Oh, that's a bit worrying. So, Tutin is a guy we could go for. He's potentially a medium top 9 forward. We've scouted Roberts 8 times, and he's potentially a medium top 9 forward. He is 18 years old. We scouted him 8 times. We don't have any exact numbers on him. That's not very good. We don't really know that much about Tutin, and he's 19 years old. Peterson, 18 years old. We've got some exact stats on him. He's meant to be a high top 6 forward, so we might have to go for this guy. What I want to do is I want to go for the potential. Have we got any diamonds in the rough at the moment? And where are they being drafted is my question as well. So let's take a look. We have... Okay, so Paros is meant to be an exact elite in the 4th or 5th round. We will keep an eye out for him. He is from the Swedish Hockey League, so he's been playing against men this last year. I think for our first pick, though, we should go for Peterson, purely for the fact that we know quite a lot of his... He's a pretty decent skater. His balance isn't too good, but his skating's solid. His puck skills aren't as good as we'd want them to be. His durability's solid. He's got some mid-70 rated stats already, and he's a high top 6 forward. He's a sniper and a left winger. So Peterson, join the team. You are a medium elite. Look at that. What a pickup for odd man rush and the Quebec Nordiques. The Swede Peterson. So, nope, don't want to trade Ekholm yet. Thank you very much. Nope, don't want to trade Ekholm yet. Thank you very much. Nope, still don't want to trade Ekholm. Nope, not even there. No, thank you. Everybody's going to offer me stuff. So, the LA Kings want to give us their first round pick and their third round pick from this draft. For Ekholm, a fourth round pick from the Senators and Greiber. No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't want to trade him. I didn't have a second round pick this year, did I? Oh, of course I didn't. I have loads of thirds, though, don't I? Adam McQuaid for a second rounder next year and a fourth. No. Colorado Avalanche. No. Where are all my draft picks? No. Wait. Let's just see what draft picks that I've actually got. Because have they drafted for me? So I'm a bit confused here. 53 at 18 years old. What a steal. Yeah, so we have the 93rd pick in the draft. Right, so we have 1 third rounder, 2 fourth rounders. Okay, I was getting a bit confused there. So I was like, hang on a second, why haven't I picked anybody? I don't want to trade Ekholm. Right, here we go. So we're in the third round of the draft. We've got 2 fourth rounders, Butseyev. So let's just check the second round, see if there was anything interesting. A medium starter for Gravel. Good. A fringe starter. Top 9 forwards. Nothing special in this draft. We managed to pick up an elite, though. I think we actually had the biggest steal of the draft so far. And if Paris ends up being elite as well, we'll have absolutely stolen it. So in the third round, it's mainly bottom 6 defensemen at the moment. Has Paros gone? I don't think he has. He was a third round / fourth round, wasn't he? So I think it might be smart to take him. Or is he a 4th / 5th? If he's a 4th / 5th, we'll try and take him next round. But I'm not too sure what his thing is. A 4th / 5th. Okay, so we'll take him next round. I mean, he's meant to be a medium elite. I mean, I don't think we know. We know some of his stats, so that's good. And he plays in the SHL as well. So, but he's Polish. Oh, right. Okay, I don't mind a Polish player. Bring him on. Why not? So, let's just take a look at what's going on here. 3rd or 4th rounder Green. We haven't scouted him at all. He's a left winger. He's 17 years old. And he plays in the Swiss League. Okay. We did already pick a left winger. Fringe starter for Hyvanen. Haven't really scouted him at all either. Hughes, he's a centre, top 9 forward, supposedly. I kind of want to go for one of these guys, though. Kozlov is 19 years old. Let's go for Green. He's 17 years old. He's got time in our organisation. Oh, look at that. A low elite. I am stealing this draft right now, ladies and gents. Oh, I'm killing this draft. This might be one of the best drafts I've ever had. So, first round, third round for Ekholm, no. First round, fourth round for Ekholm, no. So we have the 7th pick in this round. Has our player been picked? Top 9 forwards. Right, let's pick up Paros. Well, actually, we might be able to steal somebody else. We might be able to steal Kozlov and then Paros. Because he's meant to be a 4th / 5th round pick, isn't he? And yeah, we only have a pick, couple of picks later. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's pick up Kozlov so we get a defenseman. And then we'll pick up Paros. So, Kozlov, low top 4 defenseman, okay? Not the worst pick out there, not the worst. Did Paros get picked? No, he didn't, so let's pick him now. He's probably not going to be an exact elite, which I'm fine with. If he's not an exact elite, I can live. Because I've picked up 2 potential elite players in this draft already. And he's a low elite. I've picked up 3 potential elite players in this draft. This could be the best draft for the Quebec Nordiques ever. Oh my god, what a draft. So, the Vancouver Canucks want Ekholm and our 5th round pick of the draft for Brandon Sutter and a 3rd round pick for next year's draft. Well, let's take a look at this, shall we? Brandon Sutter, what's his rating? He's 82 overall as a centre. He's a 3rd scoring line forward. What do my centres look like? I've got Ryan Spooner potentially for next season. We've got Elias Anderson in the system. Spooner's 81 at 26. I'd rather have him. Sorry, Brandon Sutter, you're getting paid a bit too much, in my opinion. So, we move to the 5th round. Ekholm for a 1st round pick. No. No. Oh my god, no. Please stop, no. Every single team. Oh, here we go. So, the Philadelphia Flyers want to give us the 161st pick for the 164th and the 221st. No, I'm not really feeling that, actually. Right, so we have the 29th pick of the 5th round. I don't think we had a pick in the 4th round. Oh, no, we did have. We had 2 picks in the 4th round, didn't we? Top 4 defensemen, potentially, and a low elite. I've picked up so many elite players. They're all getting contracts. I want them to grow as quick as possible. Oh, another low elite in Albelin for the Calgary Flames in the 5th round. That could be a steal. Another low elite for Garvin for the New Jersey Devils. Wow, some elite players going in this draft. This has been a solid draft for players by the looks of it. So we had another elite in the 4th round, 2 elites potentially in the 5th round. Bottom 6 forward for Soderlund. He's probably the best guy I've scouted at the moment. Breen, he's a medium top 6 forward. High bottom 6 forward for Gardner, but we could pick him up next round. 17 years old, another Polish player who's playing in the SHL. Why not? Pick him up. And he's a low top 9 forward. I'll take that. It's better than an AHL top 6. And then we have the 6th pick in, or the 4th pick in the 6th round, I should say. 164th overall. Let's see what we've got available here. I'm just going off what I've scouted now. So Gardner can go next round. Soderlund, he's an exact bottom 6 forward. He's Swedish, I assume. Yep, he's playing in the SHL. We've picked up a lot of SHL players. Medium bottom 6 forward, 61 overall. I quite like that. Ekholm, I'm sorry, I'm keeping you, buddy. I know you might be interested in leaving, or you might not be interested in leaving. Oh, well, that was a better trade. Oh, no, I'm not trading both of them for a first round pick next year. Nope. Give me my pick. Has he been picked already? Has anything interesting been picked here? Weimar, Hedgeberg, Tukinen, Lysak, Perns, Dudas, Beckett, Wells. Mainly AHL players. Yep, mainly AHL players by the looks of it. I don't think our player's been picked that we want. He might have been. I'm not sure. Oh, Krebs might have been the guy, actually. I'm not entirely sure about that. Let's just see if we can pick up our guy. Almost the last pick in the draft. This has been a solid draft, though. I've been so impressed with how well I've drafted here. Okay, Vanek. Bottom 6. Oh, we've scouted a guy 11 times. He's meant to go undrafted. Waitzner. He's meant to be an AHL top 6 forward. We've scouted him 11 times. I mean, some of his stats look good. His puck skills aren't particularly very good. But he looks like a solid two-way player. I've scouted him 11 times. He's meant to be an exact top 6 forward. You know, I'm going to go for him. I've scouted him 11 times. A medium AHL top 6 forward. I'll take it. I mean, if it happens that he's not a decent player, I'll take it. So, the draft class for the 2018 Nhl Entry Draft. Petterstrom, Green, Kozlov, Paros, Breen, Soderlund, and Waitzner. So we picked, what, 2, 4, 6... 3 out of the 7 players I picked in this draft have the potential to be elite players. The 2018 Entry Draft could be the sign of a dynasty for the Quebec Nordiques here. What an interesting draft. What a great draft. Right, so we have some free agents to sign here. Let's get the calculator out and let's get started. Okay, here we go. So, to contracts. Ryan Spooner needs a contract. We will give him a deal. I think he deserves it. I mean, he didn't do anything last season, but I still think he deserves it. So, $21 million in salary cap space. Let's go position by position. So, centres. Ryan Spooner is currently our best centre. Let's give him a contract. So, he wants 3.405. Let's divide that by 100 and times that by 85. So, I think we can get him for about 2.9 mil. 2.9 mil for 3 years, I think, is fair. He didn't actually play last season, so you'd be lucky to get that. Letestu wants a $2 million contract. I'm not too sure about that. I would like to get it for lower, if that's possible. 1.7, we could get it for 1.8 million for 3 years. 1.8 for 3 years I can do. Chris Tierney, he had an absolutely fantastic season for the Laval Lasers. So let's go 1.375 divided by 100 times 85. We could potentially do that for about 1.2 million, Tierney. I'd love to see you up on the main roster. Cedric Paquette. Let's go 1.1 million for you. See if you deal with that. And Richardson. I mean, I'm not really that... No, 1.6 million. I'm not really that interested. I've got better players in the system. So, none of the elite players were centres, which is fine. Kreisky's meant to be a top 9 forward. We'll give him his entry-level contract. There you go, Kreisky. And Breen is meant to be, but he's 17 years old, so he can be sent back to juniors. We'll worry about them later. Let's make sure we focus on the main roster. Michael Grambler, 83 overall. Wow, Max Domi has got himself a bloody paycheck. Look at that. $5 million for the next 4 years. No wonder they wanted to trade him. In fairness, he came up clutch for me, so he's earned that contract so far. Apparently, Michael Grabner does not want a contract with us. Oh my god, he wants a lot of money. Jesus Christ, Michael Grabner. I'd love to have you on the team. I can offer you 3.7 million. I might be able to go slightly higher, but I'm not going any over 4 million. You're 83 overall at 30 years old, dude. Like, come on. Jason Chimera, he had a pretty good year with us, but I'm not giving him that much money. 3.085 divided by 100 times 85. We can get you for about 2.7 mil. How much do you want for a 1-year contract? Let's go 2.7 mil for a 1-year contract. You're 39 years old, dude. You're going to be retiring soon. Russell, let's get you for... actually, let's have a look at this. 1.8 divided by 100 times 85. 1.53. We'll do 1.6. I'll give you a little bit more, Frenchie. Delorier, what do you want? 1.3. Let's go 1.2. And I'll sign you to that contract. Green, you're getting a contract. Petterstrom, you are getting a contract. Any more elite players there? Nope, because I want them to be in my system as soon as possible. Right wingers. We've basically got all of our right wingers. Devontae Smith-Pelly. Yeah, I'll go 1.2 million for you. I can always flip these guys. Vitali, 75 at 32. No. I had another elite player. Yep, Paros. Contract. There you go. Okay, that's fine. Defenseman. Brodeen, 86 overall. Good. Shattenkirk, 85. Vatten, 84. Ekholm, 83. Dumoulin and McQuaid. That makes our top 6. Then we have Wallet and Greiber as our depth defensemen. Nestorov. Ooh, I'll qualify you as an RFA for now. And then Tennyson. No, Tennyson, I don't need to sign you. Rob O'Gara, who's actually playing for the New York Rangers. I'll qualify you as a restricted free agent for now, O'Gara. And then Nikitin, you can have a contract. We're going to have loads of medium elite players playing in the AHL, hopefully, or going back to the minors. Okay, and then goaltenders, we have Mason, who's not particularly very happy. Neuwirth. Korpisalo's at an 81. Hopefully he'll grow and we can flip one of these goaltenders. Verolainen, 71 overall. Will qualify Van Pottelberg as an RFA. And I think that's it for now. I think that's everything that we need to do. It might complain that we don't have enough contract spaces, but we'll see, I guess. If some of our elite players can't get contracts, then we might flip some of these veteran guys we don't really need. So let's advance the day and see who signs with us. Spooner has joined the team. So we got you at the trade deadline. You have joined the team, Spooner. Welcome to the Quebec Nordiques. We get Delorier has rejected. Russell has rejected. Letestu's rejected. Smith-Pelly's rejected. As has Chimera. Grabner's rejected. Tierney's rejected. Paquette's accepted. Kreisky has rejected. I've got a full roster at the moment. Okay. Nikitin's rejected, 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 rejected. Okay, so we have too many contracts at the moment. Let's do a bit of a contract purge, shall we? I think we've signed everybody we can. We've got just under $19 million left. So we've got 47 out of 50 contracts here. So I'm not quite sure what the problem is. Chris Tierney, qualify you as an RFA, because why not? None of these contracts. Kreisky, I would like to give a contract. So that should be a contract for you. Any contracts we can purge here? Andrew Kopp, I'd like to keep you. Derek McKenzie, I'm buying you out. So long. That's fine. Left wing. Domi, you're fine. Nieto, you're fine. Ahl, you're fine. No contracts on the left wing. On the right wing, Victor Stolberg, I'm buying you out. Sorry, dude. It's the way it happens. Yasik, I'm fine with you. I'll qualify you as an RFA, but I don't really expect you to do anything. Qualify Smith-Pelly as an RFA. Vitali, you can be released. Really not that interested in having you. Right, so now we've got loads of contract spaces available. Good. Tennyson. Nah. Right, okay, so that's much better. So, if we go left wingers, that's where we have loads of the elite players. Right. Green. Petterstrom. Take your contracts again, lads. We'll give a contract to Safin, why not? He's 55 at 19. If we can get some of these guys playing together either in juniors or the AHL, then in the next few years or so, we should have some solid players. Anybody here? No. Andre Nestrasili's at 77. Defenseman. Nope, that's fine. We're not signing Tennyson. Nikitin deserves a contract as well. Goaltenders. Right, so we'll advance a day after this and see, because in theory everybody should sign with us there. So we'll do that and then we'll see how much cap space we've got left, see how many contracts we've got left, and see if there's any moves we can make. So, Kreisky's my roster isn't full. Okay, so a couple of the guys have accepted. Good. So we've got the elite guys that have signed. So that's great. Let's have a look. So We've got about $18 million in salary cap space. 44 out of 50 contracts. That we don't have too many contracts. What are you talking about, game? You're like, oh, 6 more contracts. If that's to do with the free agents, then fair enough. However, I don't think that's the problem. Right, so Grambler, you wanted 4 million. If I remember correctly, you would like... Oh, how much would you want? You would want about 2.8. No, you wouldn't want 2.8. Not at all. 4.350 divided by 100 times 85. $3.7 million. I'll give you 3.7. If you don't want it, Grambler, I'm going to let you go to free agency. Chimera, I'll let you go to free agency. Russell, I would quite like to keep you. I'll go 1.750 for the year. Delorier, I'm not that interested because you can't grow overall anymore. Right wingers, we've pretty much sorted that. We might have to get rid of some of these guys, actually. Yurko, 78-25. Nestrasil, you might have to go. Scored the game-winning goal for us, I believe, in your debut, but you're not quite good enough. I would like to keep him in the organisation, though. And goalies. Right, okay, so we'll advance another day and see if that solves anything. Trying to sign Grambler again. Then we'll take a look at each position again and see what players need to be signed, what needs to be done, etc., etc. So, Russell's back. Perfect. Grambler has rejected, so Michael Grambler doesn't want to come back. Kreisky would like to come, but we've got a problem of contracts still. So we might need to buy a few more players out then. Let's just buy some fringe players out. So, just under $18 million of salary cap. That's fine. So, position by position. Centres, we have Ryan Spooner. We have Tierney that's qualified as an RFA. We have Zingle and we have Paquette. So, Letestu can go to free agency. That's fine. We can hopefully pick somebody else up. Richardson, I'm going to release you if that's all right. Well, I mean, you don't really have a choice. So, that hopefully means Kreisky, you should get your entry-level deal now. Then, is there anybody here? Elias Anderson we want to keep, obviously. Olesen we want to keep, obviously. Kopp I want to keep because he's 23. Left wingers. So, Matt Nieto, you had a fantastic season down in the AHL. You get to stay. Jason Chimera, I'm releasing you to free agency. Grabner, I'll release you to free agency then. It's what happens, guys. You didn't want to re-sign. Delorier, I'll release you to free agency as well. So that's fine. The right wingers. We've got far too many right wingers here. Jesus Christ. Connor Brown can stay. Thomas Yurko, I'll keep him for now because he might grow. We should have enough contract spaces now, though. Eric Greiber, I could buy you out, I guess. Yeah, Eric... Well, yeah, if Nesterov comes back, then we have no need for Eric Greiber. Sorry, Gribes. Matt Tennyson, I'll release you to free agency. That's fine. And then goaltenders, we should be okay. Okay, right. Let's advance a day and see what happens. Because I think we've signed everybody we want to. Like, I don't really see any crazy player that we need to go, yes, we need to have him. So Kreisky's here, that's good. So he's now in the roster. So we've got some AHL talent down there now. We've got a prospect pool. They'll either stay in the AHL or they'll go down to the minors, which is fine. So just one more check. So we have Spooner, we have Tierney, and we have Zingle and Paquette. So we have some solid centres. Well, we don't have any solid centres. We need like a second, third line centre. We have lots of depth centres. Left wingers, we have Domi, who's a second line forward, I assume. Second line forward, okay. Nieto, who will definitely be up this season. He deserves it after the brilliant year last year. Or he deserves a look anyway. Russell as a depth guy. And then we've got players in the minors. So we need a left winger, potentially. Burakovsky, we've got Dadanov. We've got Brown, we've got Yurko, we've got Nestrasil. So we could do with another mid-80 right winger. With defence, we've got Brodin, Shattenkirk, Vatanen, Ekholm, Dumoulin, McQuaid. And then 7th defenseman being Wallet. And then Nesterov being a depth player with Olofsson, O'Gara. Okay, so we're going to have a solid defensive core for the AHL this year. And goaltenders, we have Mason, Neuwirth, Korpisalo. Hopefully Korpisalo can grow a few. We can either trade Neuwirth or Steve Mason. There you go. Okay, so we're kind of looking for mid to high 80 rated forwards, really. I'm pretty happy with the defence, if I'm honest. So I think we should sim to free agency and see what we get. O'Gara has accepted his restricted free agency, as has Pottelberg. Good, we've got a couple of guys. Smith Pelly has, Jacek has, good. Right, so the trade block has been updated, and we should be, there you go, in free agency. Let's see if there's any studs that we can sign. Cam Atkinson is the best forward available in the draft. Okay, so that isn't a huge amount. Sam Reinhart is available, 83 at 22. He could do with a change of scenery, but I'm not going to give up any draft picks for him. So Cam Atkinson is a first-line forward, as is Kyle Turris. I wouldn't mind going all in for these two guys. And Patrick Hornqvist could be a decent pickup, but that would be, wow, that would be about $19 million, just these three guys. Which I don't really have the salary cap space. Sorry, $17 million. $17 million for these guys, which I do have the salary cap space for. Goaltenders, I'm just curious to see who's available. Ryan Miller. Okay, so we've got the best goaltenders we're going to have in this scenario. Any depth players that we can have? Any high whatevers? No, there doesn't seem to be a huge amount of prospects available. Yaxin, 78 at 25, but I think we've got a pretty solid prospect pool, if I'm honest. Nick Holden, my goodness. Okay, so let's go back to overall ratings. So, Kyle Turris and Cam Atkinson. Let's just check our team again. If we were to... Where's contracts? Here we go. View contracts. So, if we were to pick up an 85 right winger and an 85 centre, how does that affect our team? So, with the centres, that would mean he'd slot into first, would have Spooner at the second. He's a third scoring line forward, so maybe. Zingle on the third line and probably Paquette on the fourth line. If not, Christiani probably on the fourth line. Then right wingers, we'd have Atkinson, Burakovsky, Dadonov, and then we'd have a fight for the last one. Interesting, okay. And then left wingers, we've got Domi. Oh, I wouldn't mind a left winger as well. If there was an 85 rated left winger as well, we'd basically just give ourselves an entire first line via free agency, which I'd be happy with. Like, I've got the salary cap to pay them, so why not? But there aren't really any stud players here, are they? Van Riemsdyk, he's a second line player at 84 overall. Okay, so I think we should go all in on Atkinson and Turris. The problem is, if we were a team that was at the bottom of the standings this season, I wouldn't be going for these sort of guys. But the fact is that we made it to the Western Conference Finals last season. I think we need to go all in. We could potentially win a Stanley Cup in our second season. So, Cam Atkinson, I'll give you $6 million for 3 years. I think that's fair. Kyle Turris. You want a 5-year contract? Well, that's fair enough, because then you'll be 33 by the end of the contract. I'm going to go $6 million for you as well. 2 $6 million contracts. Let's see if that works. So we'll advance a couple of days and see what happens. If not, we can always get some of the second line rated guys. There'll be less money, hopefully. So it wouldn't be a huge problem. But of course, these guys are going to take a few days to make their choices. Nope, I don't want that trade. Thank you very much. I'm keeping Matthias Ekholm. So they've had 3 days of free agency already. So Cam Atkinson has rejected our offer. And Kyle Turris has rejected our offer. However, he's still available. So I think we should chase Kyle Turris again. Let's give him the money that he wants then. That's fine. So 6.250 mil for 5 years. I think that's fair. He's 28 years old. He's in the prime of his career. James Van Riemsdyk, a left winger. He's a second liner. I'm not sure we want to do that though. Sam Reinhart, he's a restricted free agent. I'm not interested. Brian Little, 83 overall. Oh, but that's a $5 million contract. Tyler Bozak, he wants 4 mil, and he's 32, but he wants 2 years. Brian Little would be good. For 5 million for 2 years, I think that would be fair, because that would tide us over, I think. Yeah, maybe. Let's try that. Let's try 5 million for Brian Little for 2 years. Because then we'll have an 81 and 83 rated centre. He's a second line centre. But we can stick him on the first if need be. Or, actually, if we get both of them, we'll get Turris, Little, then Spooner will be the third line centre. So that makes sense to me. So, if we miss out on Turris, we could always sign Little, you know. So as long as we get one of these centres, I'll be quite happy. I'd literally just realised that we were going for 2 centres there. So give them a couple of days to make their decision. If they don't want to sign, that's fair enough. I understand, even though we did go to the Western Conference Final. So Brian Little has joined the team. Okay, welcome to the Quebec Nordiques, Brian Little. Kyle Turris has rejected the offer. Okay, there's a player morale meeting to be had. Okay, I assume it's Brian Little. Hello, Brian Little. I hope to join the list of successful free agent signings. You won't regret signing me. You need to perform at a high level on this team, and his morale has improved. Perfect. It's exactly what I like to see. So, Kyle Turris would be a nice pickup still, though. I'm not going to go any higher than 6.5 mil. If he doesn't want 6.5 mil, let's actually get it this time, Odd Man Rush. 6.5 mil, if he doesn't want it, then I'm not going for him. So, with that contract, we'll have about 7 million left, which means we can sign somebody else. We do need a boost to our offense, I think. And maybe Van Riemsdyk's the guy to do that. I'll give him 5.5 mil for 4 years. That means his contract will run out when he's 33. Let's give that a go. Let's see what happens. If neither of them sign, fair enough, we might chase Van Riemsdyk again. But I'm not going to chase Turris again if he doesn't want this contract. We've got Brian Little, we've got another centre. So Turris has rejected the offer, as has Van Riemsdyk. Okay, so this is interesting. Turris is rejecting the offers, but he keeps asking for less money. So we'll go 6.750. 6.750. We'll risk it. We'll risk it. But I'm not going 7 mil. I'm not going 7 mil at all. And Van Riemsdyk, I did reduce the offer. So we'll go 5.750 for you. See if we can get any interest. Because I would like to sign these guys. Because as I said, we need that boost on the offense. However, I'm not going to pay over the moon for it. We managed to make it to the Western Conference Final. Okay, Chris Tierney's joined the team. Good. Hopefully you'll get a chance next season. Although I am kind of screwing up the depth chart by signing centres for you. So Van Riemsdyk is rejected. Okay, I might look at him again, but I probably won't. Okay, so neither of these guys want to sign with the team. That's fine. I mean, we did make it to the Western Conference Finals last season. So we've got $12 million of salary cap space. I'm not really sure I want anybody else. I mean, Sam Reinhart would be nice. If I signed him to a $5 million 4-year contract, they'd want my first and third round pick. And as a team that's just joined the league, we need all the prospects we can get. So I'm not really into that. That doesn't really do me. However, we could get a depth centre like Thomas Plekanec or Valtteri Filppula, who wants less money and he's slightly better overall. However, he could drop. I mean, Plekanec is actually older, so let's go $2.5 million for Valtteri Filppula. That means we'll have Little, we'll have Spooner, and we'll have Filppula. So 380 or above centres would help us out tremendously. Is he a second-line centre? Oh, and he's a second-line forward, so that would sort out our depth situation perfectly. We'd have Little on the first line, Filppula on the second line, and Spooner on the third line. That would be tremendous. So hopefully Filppula signs with us. Come on, Filppula. You know you want to come to Quebec. There you go, son. Beautiful. Right, so we've got Filppula. So taking a look at our depth chart now. Just double check where we're at. We have $10 million of salary cap. Of course, we want to keep this. We want to keep some cap. But in terms of centres, we've got Little, Filppula, and Spooner, with Chris Tierney and Ryan Zingle as the depth guy. Cedric Paquette down in the minors still. Hopefully he can grow. And Andrew Kopp down in the minors. Hopefully he can grow still. Okay, so that's really helpful, actually. That's really helpful. That means that we've got some decent centres here now. We've got 2 second-line centres, but we'll use Little on the first line. Filppula on the second, Spooner on the third, and Tierney is a third checking line forward. We can play him on the fourth line. Or we can play Zingle. Doesn't matter. We can alternate them too. Like, I don't think it matters. Okay, so are there any decent wingers left available? Not including Reinhart. Not really. Van Riemsdyk still. I mean, Van Riemsdyk, would you like to sign a contract with me, buddy? I'll give you 6 mil. I'm not going any higher than 6 mil. 6 mil for 4 years. That means we'll have about $5 million of salary cap space left. Come on. Come on. Sign with us, Van Riemsdyk. You know you want to. You wouldn't have to travel too far. You've lived in Toronto for years. It wouldn't be too far to travel. One more day. Nope. Okay. My goal is to win. I don't think this team is going to be... We made it to the Western Conference Finals, you greedy mug. Right. Okay. I'm not interested in signing anybody else now. So just double check each of the positions just to make sure that we have everything that we want, unless there's anybody else we want to sign, because otherwise I'm going to sim through free agency. So, centres. We have Little, Filppula, Spooner, Tierney, Zingle. That's fine. Left wingers, we have Domi, Nieto, Russell, and nobody else. So we need a depth left winger, essentially. Right wingers, Burakovsky, Dadonov, Brown, Yurko, Smith, Pelly, with Nestrasil in the system. Defensemen, we have Brodin, Shattenkirk, Vatanen, Ekholm, Dumoulin, McQuaid, Wallet, with Nestorov in the system, and O'Gara and Olofsson in the system. Olofsson, we signed him as a free agent, didn't we? Yeah, because he was drafted by the Wild. And then goaltenders, Mason Neuwirth with Korpisalo and Vehalainen as the depth goalies. Okay, so a mid-80 left winger would do us nicely. Just to make sure we have another one and round out that group. If we can't find one, it's not a problem. I won't cry about it, but would be nice to have, I think. So left wingers, Chris Kunitz. No, there's not really anybody here. They're all 79 overall, which I don't really want. Okay, so there's not really anything there. We could have picked up a guy like Evander Kane, but I don't really want a locker room cancer on my team. So let's sim to the end of free agency, and we'll hopefully see where this team is at by the end. Oh, we should also probably upgrade stuff in the off-season, shouldn't we? Because I don't think we're going to have this money for much longer. So let's cancel that. Let's upgrade the team store. Consider yourself upgraded. Let's upgrade the concessions, because we're going to lose this money soon. Let's upgrade the parking lot. And then we'll repair the bathrooms and the club seats. I mean, I probably should have upgraded the club seats, because you can only do that in the off-season. However, I don't play by the rules. So let's go to the 5th of October and see where this team's at. Nope, I still don't want Sutter. I've already got guys that basically do his job. So, now the question is, are we going to have a decent season? Are we going to be able to follow up our rookie season with a sophomore successful season? That's the question. Hello. So, the Anaheim Ducks want to give us Yuri Toulouse and Tyler Kennedy for Adam McQuaid. How are Toulouse and Kennedy? 79 overall. Nope. Kennedy, 78 overall. Nope. Thanks for the offer, Anaheim, but I think I'm going to decline that. Have a plan to deal with Nikita Nesterov? Well, yeah, I did, but he hasn't signed yet. I can give him a contract before we finish up this episode if you want. But I doubt anything crazy is going to happen, so... Right, so we're almost at the end of free agency. The Laval Lasers almost had 50 wins. They had more wins than we did last season. So I think that's pretty impressive for them, I must admit. So, see, we've sold almost all of our tickets. Good. That's what I like to hear. 96% and 95%. It's all across the board. Extra money for us this year. Not very much, but better than nothing. We're in September. Pre-season is almost upon us. There it is. Owner goals. So, we are a why are we a rebuilder? We made it to the conference finals last year, coach. I mean, GM. I don't know what he's playing at. Right, let's edit the lines then. Let's take a look at what we've got. So, let's go to roster moves and double check everything. So, position by position, please. Centres, Little. Spooner's up at an 82, perfect. Filppula, Tierney and Zingle, nice. In the system, we have Paquette, Kopp. Anderson's at a 75 overall. Good, so maybe next season he should be ready to go. Olsen and Kreisky, okay, good. So, Spooner grew an overall point, so we can have Little, Spooner and Filppula. And then Tierney is the last guy. Left wingers, Domi. Nieto's up at an 81. That's good, I'm very happy with that. And Russell's at a 79. Considering Nieto was 78 last season, he's cracked himself into the roster. And we don't really have another left winger. Right wingers, we have Burakovsky at 83. Dadonov, Brown, Yurko, Smith, Pelly. In the system, we have Nestrasil at 77 overall. Defensemen, we have Brodin at 86, perfect. Shattenkirk 85, Vatanen 84, Ekholm 83, Dumoulin 81, and McQuaid 80. Wallet 79. O'Gara is at 75 now, sorry. If he was at 85, he'd be on the roster. And Olofsson at 74. Okay, good to know. Then goaltenders, we've got Mason Neuwirth still the same. Korpisalo's got to come up now. Okay, I think we should make a trade for Michael Neuwirth. We should send Neuwirth down because Korpisalo at the moment is a starting goalie. So he should not be playing down in the minors. Okay, so that's something we need to sort out, I think, before the end of this episode. And to sign Nestorov to a contract. Interesting, interesting. Oh, how are the wingers that I picked up? The draft wingers that I got. Green and Petterstrom, they are 54 and 53 overall, so they will be playing on the roster. Ahl's a 71. Interesting. 21 overall, drafted in... Okay, interesting. Right, no worries. So that's fine. So we've had a bit of an upgrade here, which is good to see. Set the captains. So, we've got Sami Vatanen as our captain for this season. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Is there anybody else that should be the captain? There's nobody else that's really... We haven't really got any star players that are stuck with us. I would like to... Burakovsky assistant. Well, we didn't have a captain last season, did we? Do we want a captain this season? If so, I think it should be Jonas Brodin. He's the one that's kind of stepped up for us. Although this is saying Vatanen... Who do we want as our first franchise captain is the question. I don't know. I feel like I want to take away that. If I unassign that and make him an alternate instead... Can we add another alternate? No, we can only have 3 alternates then. I don't know then. Who do we want as our first ever captain? Do we want a guy like Kevin Shattenkirk? He led the team last season in points. We've got Max Domi, who led the team in the playoffs. Oh, I don't know. I really don't know. Oh, this is a tough choice. Burakovsky, I'm not sure he deserves an A this season, I've got to be honest. So, let's take them all away. I think Shattenkirk at least deserves an alternate. Maybe I do make Shattenkirk the captain. Brodin deserves an alternate, because he's grown to our best defenseman. And I think Max Domi has earned himself an alternate. You know what, we're going to make Kevin Shattenkirk the captain. He led our team in points in our inaugural season. He's been a good locker room presence for us. He's been good. For a defenseman, 65 points on the season for an 85 rated defenseman is pretty solid if you ask me. So, Captain Kevin Shattenkirk, Captain Kevin. An alternate going to Brodin and Max Domi. Yep, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Sorry, Vatanen, I know you would have wanted... Oh, whoops. I know you would have wanted that, but that's the way that I'm going. So, they're the captains that we've got. I believe they've saved them, haven't they? Yep, they have. Perfect. So, done. Right. Now, before we carry on the season, before we get to the start of the next season and end this episode, let's make a trade. Let's propose a trade. We want Korpisalo to come up and play for the team, so let's trade away Michael Neuwirth. Let's get something decent for him. I know we could keep him in the system, but I don't see any point. So the Anaheim Ducks are interested in having him. The Chicago Blackhawks are interested in having him. The Columbus Blue Jackets are interested in having him. The Florida Panthers, the LA Kings. It's all teams over the salary cap, which is a problem, so I need to take a player back. San Jose, St. Louis, Tampa Bay. I think that's going to be it. Yeah, okay, so there was one team. I think it was the LA Kings that were only just over the cap. Yeah, they're only just slightly over the cap. Let's take a look at their left wingers. Pearson, Adrian Kempe, Reed Boucher. Not really feeling any of them, if I'm honest. I mean, Tanner Pearson's solid, but Michael Neuwirth's trade value isn't that high. Oh, actually, we might be able to get a Tanner Pearson for that, which would help out our team tremendously. Tanner Pearson, but he's 83 at 26, so he wouldn't really grow much. What about the other players? Florida Panthers, who have they got on the left wing? Jonathan Huberdeau and Thomas Vanek. Well, I don't really want either of them. Too much trade value for me. The Columbus Blue Jackets, who have they got? Artemi Panarin and Boone Jenner. Boone Jenner could be a good pickup. We'll keep an eye on him. The Chicago Blackhawks, they've got Brandon Saad. Well, no. Definitely not happening, if you ask me. Who else? The Anaheim Ducks, who have they got? Jones, they've got Richie. Richie would be a solid pickup. Low elite, 83 overall at 22. We did have him on the London Lions roster when we did this. Let's just check who else is available. Tampa, they've got Nemesnikov, 82 overall at 25. He wouldn't really grow much. St. Louis, excuse me. Steen. Robbie Fabry, 84 at 22. That could work. Slightly higher trade value, though, so not too sure. San Jose, they've got Patrick Marleau, even though they don't in real life. Or they've re-signed him, which is interesting. And that's it. So I think the best choice here at the moment is Nick Ritchie. So let's go a 1-for-1. Nick Ritchie for Michael Neuwirth. Will that go through? No, it won't. Okay, let's chuck in a draft pick. I believe we have a couple of extra draft picks this draft. Our first, second... Oh, no, we don't, actually. Okay, so we have a first, second, a third. So if we trade our third... We didn't have a third last year, either. We trade our third for their fourth and fifth. So we have more quantity, but not as good quality. So, Michael Neuwirth and the third round pick from us from this year's draft for Nick Ritchie and a fourth and fifth from them for this year's draft. Will that go through? No, it won't. Okay, take out the fifth. Will that go through? No, it won't. Okay. Let's take out that and that. Let's put in a fourth instead. I don't want to give up a third for nothing if I don't have to. So, Neuwirth and a fourth round pick for Ritchie. Will that go through? No, it won't. Okay. Well, I'm hitting their needs on the trade block. Let's chuck in a third from 2020 then. I want to keep a third round pick for this year if I can. I can use that as trade bait nearer the deadline. So, Neuwirth and a third round pick from next year's draft in exchange for Nick Ritchie. Will that go through? No. Oh my word. Why isn't it? I'm not giving up a second. Or if I have to give up a second, I'm going to give the 2020 second and I'm getting a third from this year. They don't want to give up a third from this year. Okay, let's try this. So, Neuwirth and a second round pick from next year's draft in exchange for Ritchie and a third round pick from this year's draft. Will that go through? No. Oh my god. So if I do this, I have the value. Right, let's go for a fourth and a fifth then. See if that works. If not, we're going to try and trade him to somebody else. Or we can leave that for next episode to try and figure out. So, Neuwirth and a second round pick for Ritchie, a fourth and a fifth. Will that go through? Okay, yes it will. Perfect. So we didn't really get the best picks there. We lost a second from next year, but we didn't lose any picks this year, and we've picked up some draft picks for this year, so that's fine. And we've picked up a quality player in Nick Ritchie. So if we edit our lines here, we've gone from a rebuilder to a hopeful. So Domi is on the second line, good. So Ritchie is on the first line with Little and Burakovsky. Basically a second line. Then we have Domi with Spooner and Dadonov, which is basically... Oh, he's a third scoring line forward. I don't think we have a second line forward on the right wing. Then Nieto... I thought Nieto was up at an 82. No, sorry, that's Thingamabob, isn't it? No, Nieto was up at an 82. Has he gone back down to a 79? If you have, I'm very disappointed in you. While Tierney deserves the start over Zingle. So Tierney's going to get the start here on the fourth line. Antoine Roussel. Yep, that makes sense. Smith Pelly, yep, that makes sense. So Brodin, Shattenkirk, yep. Ekholm, Vatanen, Dumoulin, and McQuaid. Good. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Goaltenders, we've got Steve Mason and Joonas Korpisalo. He's a starting goaltender, so we're going to play him as a starting goaltender. Because I want him to grow as high as he can. So Ritchie, Little, Burakovsky, Domi, Spooner, and Dadonov. Nieto, Filppula, and Roussel. Brown, Tierney, Smith Pelly. Then defence, Brodin, Shattenkirk, Ekholm, Vatanen, Dumoulin, McQuaid. And Korpisalo, Mason. Scratch, we have Yurko, Wallet, and Zingle. Okay, that looks good to me. Let's check the roster moves, just in case there might be a guy down in the minors that we want. Nope. Paquette, Nestrasil, Kopp, O'Gara, Anderson, Olofsson. Okay, so that's fine. So there's nobody crazy that we're missing in the minors. I'd like to edit lines again, though, if that's possible, game. Thanks. So if we go AHL, so we've got Kopp, Paquette, and Nestrasil. Then we've got Fortier, who I didn't actually sign. I think he's just a guy that's turned up. Anderson and Zierkels. We've got Ahl, Olsen, and Bajkov. Palmu with Kreisky and Jasic. Defence, we have O'Gara with Olofsson. Orbe with Adamek. There you go. And Lennström with Nikitin. Goaltenders, we have Verilainen and Van Pottelberg. Hang on a minute. So where are my elite players? Here we go. Well, I want to get these guys in. I don't care. I don't care if they're low. I want them to play. So, Green, you can get the start there. Petterstrom. Or can I send them to the minors, though, actually? Because surely they're young enough to go to the minors. Let's have a look at this, actually. So, Petterstrom, call up to... Well, I don't want to call him up to the NHL. Okay, so they have to play in the AHL by the looks of it. So, let's get him some AHL playing time, then. So, if we just go back this way and go edit lines here, that would make more sense. So, Green and Petterstrom are playing. Yep, so they're both playing. 18 years old. I guess you have to be under 18 to go to the minors, don't you? Ah, yeah, that would be right. Kreisky's playing as well, so that's good. Jacek, 21 years old. Nice. Okay. Right, so I think that's good. I think we've got our team for this season, ladies and gents. Disappointed Nieto dropped to a 79, though. I wanted him to stay up at an 81. So, let's just sim through pre-season. I think we've got everything sorted out that we need. So, we lost a second-round pick from next year and picked up a 4th and a 5th, which is good. Ah, one more thing we needed to do. Nesterov. We wanted to sign him, didn't we? Let's just go to contracts quickly. I don't want to miss out on that, because otherwise we won't be able to use him all season. And that would mean a season of growth that's disappeared. So we've got just over $8 million of salary cap space, which is quite helpful. So let's do this, and then do this. If we go in the system, just dodge all of these ones. Nesterov. So you want that contract. There you go. Enjoy. It's all yours, buddy, as long as you sign. It's a lot less than what he was asking for previously, so I won't complain. Right. Okay. Calendar. Then let's go to... Oh, our home openers against the Vegas Golden Knights again. Hey, Nesterov's back. Perfect. So, do I need to go best lines here? I assume I would, right? That would make the most sense. Let's have a look anyway. Let's just take a look at the AHL squad. Wow, we've got the 83 line up there. Yeah, we need to bring him in. So, Nesterov, you shoot right, don't... Oh, you shoot left. Okay. So, Olofsson, O'Gara, and then Nesterov. Perfect. That's a decent defensive core for the AHL, I must admit. And Nikitin, he's getting time down there. He was a second-round pick in our first draft. He's an elite player, so hopefully he'll be able to do the job. Anyway, let's go to the first game of the season, and we'll end this episode here, ladies and gents. A good place to finish, methinks. What a successful draft we had, though. So, to recap, we had a great draft. We had a solid free agency. Some of our players grew enough that we actually could trade some of our excess players away. Let's scout the queue for 6 weeks. And, yeah, we managed to pick up some decent stuff. Right, let's allocate some budget. 3 out of the 7 picks we made are potential elite players. They might not be elite players, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But still, we had some pretty solid draft picks there, if you ask me. So, auto-assign promotion nights, please. So, pre-season, we're doing pretty well so far by the looks of it. Nice, undefeated in pre-season so far. We stay undefeated in pre-season. We lose one game, we lose another. And to finish off, I think we're going to win this one against Colorado. Well, they are undefeated, and we made sure that they actually took a loss in the pre-season. So, 5-1-1 in our pre-season. The Laval Lasers have already played their first few games. And they're 1-0. Well, 1-1-0, I should say. I just want to check what they're actually playing like at the moment. I want to see who's the lead. Andre Nestrasil, 4 points in 2 games. Just want to see if any of our elite potential rookies picked up any points. Let's have a look. Green picked up a goal. He scored his first goal. Anderson scored a goal. Good. What about the other one? Petterstrom hasn't scored any points. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. He is playing on the 4th line, in fairness, but at least he's getting playing time. I'd definitely prefer that. So, I am going to end this episode here, ladies and gents. We have our first game of the season against the Vegas Golden Knights to start next episode. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. Please feel free to like, subscribe, share, or watch some of my other videos. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.